What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a battle submission from Darthlash, who was able to go from 2,500 to 3,000 elo rating, veteran to legend, in one day this weekend thanks to Go Battle Day. Able to do 13 sets with Serperior, Carbink, and Mantine. That is impressive, climbing 500 rating in one sitting. I mean, I wonder how long that took, but that is really impressive. So, congratulations to Darthlash. These battles were after they reached Legend, but overall, this should be a lot of fun. This team obviously looks incredibly strong, so let me know down in the comments what you think about it. But Darthlash, man, 500 rating climb. Huge congrats. Let's go ahead and check out these battles. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Serperior on the lead versus a shiny Ferrothorn right there. So somewhat of a decent matchup because Aerial Ace is neutral damage, and obviously if you have a Carbink on the backline, the Ferrothorn is the last thing you want to see. One of the last things you want to see. Maybe Empoleon's a bit more deadly. But Aerial Ace here going to do some nice chip damage, and Serperior overall is in a great position this season and in this meta to dominate, as we do see a swap out into Mandibuzz and a quick swap into the Carbink here to counteract it, as they're going to easily resist the Aerial Ace and Dark Pulse, and this is a great position to be in, as you can easily probably near fast move down. They might want to go for one Rock Slide, but ultimately they're in a great position to maintain switch advantage. Actually, no, they don't even need to go for Rock Slide. They just fast move down the whole time. You want Switch Clock back up. You don't want this Ferrothorn to come in and load up on energy. So we will see another Aerial Ace be thrown. Carbink just looks absolutely broken, not gonna lie, but they do decide to go for the Rock Slide right here, which is perfectly fine. This is going to be, oh, they do undercharge it. Yep, so they can fast move down, and Switch Clock now is coming back up. They have plenty of energy, good amount of health, and that Ferrothorn now is going to be counter swapped into Mantine here to soak the energy. But is this going to be Thunder? No, it's going to be the Flash Cannon. Did they just catch the blind Flash Cannon right there, as they now swap into Mantine, reading that it might just be Double Flyer in the back? Considering that Mandibuzz was the safe swap, that is a very good guess, which is why we saw the Mantine swap back in and keeping the Carbink alive just in case. And this is a great position to be in. They have the Serperior with energy in the decent matchup against the Ferrothorn, but now we know that it has Flash Cannon, and then Carbink obviously could come in and farm down Mantine right here, which is still going to be getting incredibly low because of the Aerial Ace spam. But yeah, they're going to let Mantine go. We're probably going to see that Carbink look to come in, fast move down, and then hope that Switch Clock, yeah, Switch Clock is back up. No, they're just going to go ahead and go for Rock Slide right away, not even going to risk getting hit with the Water Pulse, and then they're going to swap into the Serperior to close this game out. 2-2 shields still, but ahead on energy because, again, that Flash Cannon did go into the Mantine, which just, oh man, that was rough because that was so resisted. And then Aerial Aces are going to be taking it from here. Now, the Ferrothorn I don't think has a win condition. The only way I think that would be possible is a double Power Whip shield bait with a Flash Cannon landing. But even by that time, yeah, they're going to go ahead and no shield. It is going to be the Power Whip. There you go. Win condition is now gone. There's just not enough health remaining or energy in order for the Ferrothorn to win this game. Had they gone for Flash Cannon there, maybe it's a different story. But yeah, they will shield up now, and we do see a surrender. So that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, moving to the next one. Serperior versus Shadow Sableye here on the lead. Both Pokemon going to be doing a lot of damage to each other, as the Shadow addition there to Sableye makes it just that much more deadly. The foul plays hit harder than you really feel like it's going to hit. And Aerial Ace here is going to do a good amount of damage to force a shield now from the Sableye there on the lead. So they're still in a good position. I mean, this whole team can do well against the Sableye, so they're really trying to maybe try to get switch advantage, considering how polarizing a lot of Carbink's matchups are. Now, we do see a Frenzy Plant come through here on the second charge move. Hopefully this lands, but it will be shielded. So Sableye now 2 shields down. We'll have to see if they opt to go for the 1-0 shield advantage. No, they're going to look to go for hard switch right here. Again, if you have a polarizing Pokemon like Mantine and Carbink, you're going to want to have that as they go for Aerial Ace now. But is this going to be enough damage? I feel like they might be able to Vine Whip down. As the Aerial Ace, yeah, one more Vine Whip. No, they don't get it in time. The Sableye was able to get to the foul play, so they lose switch advantage, unfortunately, as Serperior will go down. Mantine is going to go ahead and come in. And now we get to see what is in the back. It's going to be Empoleon. So this is obviously a very tough situation to be in. But thankfully, Empoleon is looking to stay in right here. And hopefully, whatever's in the back, Carbink can beat. Because this Empoleon right now is going to be loading up on energy. Aerial Ace is going to be resisted. Same with Ice Beam, same with Water Pulse if they had it because of the typing there on Empoleon. But at least they're getting them low. And Empoleon has to throw Drill Pecks in order to get rid of the Mantine. But I don't think it's going to be enough. No, they're definitely going to need 2, if not 3. And by that time, Mantine can actually do very well and get this Empoleon so low that it's no longer going to be a threat to Carbink, as we will see an Aerial Ace be thrown. And the question is, do they swap out right now? Because they might get fast move down. I think that's going to have to be the play. No, they decide to stay in, go for the wing attack, and a simultaneous KO. Here we go. Final Pokemon is going to be a Poliwrath. So now we have Poliwrath versus Carbink, but there are no shields remaining. Poliwrath has access to Scald. Carbink has access to Moonblast. Who is going to be booming harder? As the Scald will land, but that is not enough damage. No attack debuff as well. The Moonblast is going to be able to come through. Empoleon is out of the game. Poliwrath is all that is left. The Moonblast, oh, it doesn't knock out. And we get a Rock Slide farm down. Good game. OP Carbink, huh? All right, moving to the next one. Giratina Origin here on the lead. Oh, man. I loved using this Pokemon in the Remix Cup. It was incredibly strong against a lot of teams because of that Ghost Dragon typing. But Serperior looking to stay in right now and go for an Aerial Ace here for some chip damage. Maybe they try to chip and dip, but ultimately they don't really have a great swap in. If you bring in the Carbink, you give up a potential hard counter to whatever's in the back, and Shadow Ball here isn't going to be enough to one-shot Serperior, so maybe they're just looking to soft lose this matchup and load up on energy, as Mantine as well is going to have a tough time. Oh, they do decide to shield. They will swap out now into the Mantine. They do have Ice Beam, and we do see a Carbink come in, and this is unfortunate here that this Mantine is not running Water Pulse. That would be a great charge move to have for this specific situation, right? But Ice Beam does well in a lot of other situations, like the Giratina Origin there that we saw on the lead, maybe against some other flyers like Mandibuzz that are in this meta. So another Ice Beam is going to be coming through, but Carbink is in a position to aggressively farm down with Rock Throw, and I don't think Mantine's going to get to another Ice Beam in time. No, not in time. They will decide to throw the charge move though, so this is actually a silver lining here for Darthlash. Because that energy did go through into the Mantine. They're going to go ahead and let this go. So now it's going to be Carbink versus the world with 2-to-1 shield advantage. Can it overcome and win this game? We are about to find out, but they're just going to aggressively fast move down. We will see a Rock Slide here from the opponent, but not in time, as Darthlash decides to throw the charge move in order to get rid of the Carbink, and they decide to no shield. Now let's see what's going to be coming in. If it's Giratina Origin, they are weak in the back. What is Pokemon number 3? Uh-oh. It's Giratina Origin that came in. We're probably going to see a shield here on the potential Shadow Ball, but they let it go, and it was the Shadow Ball that does land. And now this is going to be a very interesting endgame, because what could be in the back? How can Carbink win this game? Maybe it's Charizard? Like that, like I'm thinking of something that's double weak to Rock Throw. It's got to be a Fire Flyer. But it may not be, right? So let's find out. They're going to go ahead and shield the next charge move. It will be Ominous Wind. And no swap out. What is in the back? There's no shields remaining. Final Pokemon, it's a Mandibuzz. Perfect! Moonblast here is going to be doing super effective damage, but do you go double Rock Slide in this situation? I think that's going to be the call. They have to go for double Rock Slide because Moonblast will not be enough to one-shot, but 2 Rock Slides just might. This is going to be an incredibly close game. Aerial Ace isn't enough to KO. Maybe Dark Pulse is. They let it go. It's going to be the Aerial Ace. They hang on. Do they get to the Rock Slide? They do. But is it enough damage? Did they get the Mandibuzz low enough in order to win? They did. Boom! Down it goes, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, moving to the next one. Poliwrath versus Serperior here on the lead. Really nice matchup. We will see a swap out into Dugong, so they can easily go for a Frenzy Plant here to force a shield from the opponent or do massive damage, and then opt to come in with either Carbink or Mantine. They're going to look to stay in. They do technically have a better matchup in the back in terms of Mantine versus the Poliwrath because a lot of the resistances that are there. But we will see a swap out regardless into Mantine now to handle this mid-game matchup, as they can do great neutral damage with Wing Attack and Aerial Ace. The Dugong, though, don't count it out just yet. Those Ice Shards and Icy Winds will start to add up if the opponent is not careful. Switch Clock as well is coming back up, which means if they have a different Pokemon in the back, maybe something like Magnezone is lurking back there, they could lock down this Mantine with a swap in and an aggressive farm down. So we will see the Aerial Ace now come through. Not going to be enough to take down the Dugong, but Dugong here is going to be able to hang on and look to go for another Icy Wind, and there's the swap out, and they swap into Steelix. So not the Magnezone that I was thinking, but a good Pokemon nonetheless to hit for some neutral damage with Ice Beam. Water Pulse again would have been cool. We do see a swap out into Carbink now, and this is a dangerous game to be playing. Carbink right here is weak to Earthquake, but do they have it? No, they have Psychic Fangs, which means it might just be Psychic Fangs and Crunch. There may be no Earthquake, and Carbink will be able to... Yeah, there's no Earthquake. They just keep going for Psychic Fangs, and now we will likely see... Are they going to go Rock Slide or Moonblast here? I feel like Moonblast is just going to be the call, but double Rock Slide could pay off. Maybe they're waiting for Switch Clock to come back up. Let's find out. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and overload on energy. They're going to look to go for a charge move at some point. They're just letting all... Okay, they're storing all this energy. They're anticipating a swap out potentially into a Poliwrath to counter. They're going to go for the Moonblast here. Okay, so this is going to be resisted, but I imagine it's still going to do a good amount of damage. And it does. Wow, okay. And they can easily go for rocks. I know they just fast move down. Oh my goodness, the Carbink was able to take it down. They have a Moonblast ready to go for the Poliwrath. Carbink is cracked in this series. This Moonblast will get shielded. The Serperior is going to be swapping in. What do you bring in? Dugong to soak the Frenzy Plant? That's not going to go well. Frenzy Plant, though, is going to be landing here against the Poliwrath, as that will... Oh, nearly one-shot it. They do get farmed down, and that is going to be a good game. Dugong is going to try to fight the good fight, but ultimately, Serperior is going to reign supreme in this matchup, as they can easily shield and go for the farm down, and they do decide to surrender. So good battle. All right, moving to the next one. Serperior versus Shadow Gligar here on the lead. Obviously, very tough lead and tough Pokemon for this team to deal with, but we will see them opt to stay in and likely try to go for a Frenzy Plant, but they actually go for the Aerial Ace, hoping to get a shield bait, right? Frenzy Plant is the harder hitting charge move for this matchup, but the Aerial Ace, oh, gets no shielded. The opponent risks it right there as they swap into Mantine to now catch the charge move. This is going to be the Aerial Ace in kind, and it's going to do a decent amount of neutral damage, and the back-to-back is going to be thrown, so Shadow Gligar now is going to be near out of energy. But what Pokemon is going to be swapping in? They actually decide to stay in, so maybe they're weak to Mantine in the back, but they counter swap into Mandibuzz here to catch the charge move. So Mantine, unfortunately, not able to go for that Ice Beam, but this is a situation where Ice Beam does very, very well because of the super effective damage. Now Mandibuzz deciding to throw right away. This could be the Dark Pulse to knock out. If it's Aerial Ace, it's not enough. No, it is the Dark Pulse, so Mantine will go down. Carbink gonna come in and do what it does. Absolutely wall a Mandibuzz and go for an aggressive farm down. The Serperior as well. Still healthy in the back. Little bit of energy. So what we're hoping for from the opponent's side is that the final Pokemon is not a counter to Serperior. If we're looking at the team alignment right here, it was a Gligar on the lead, a Shadow Gligar, and a Mandibuzz swap in. So that's 2 flyers. Odds are being 3 is very, very low. The odds of having something that beats the anti-flyers, maybe like an Annihilate, maybe a Poliwrath, is a lot more likely. So we're going to see the farm down. Carbink in a great position right here with Rock Slide and Moonblast, and it is going to be a Quagsire. Again, an answer for the anti-flyers. This makes a lot of sense as Moonblast will be shielded and no swap out just yet. Carbink wanting to stay in, but here comes a Shadow Aqua Tail now from, I'm guessing it's Aqua Tail. Yeah, it is going to be the Aqua Tail from the Quagsire. They're going to be able to get to another Moonblast right here. This still hurts. The Quagsire has to be very careful about... Oh, they decide to shield. Their Serperior now is in a great position to win this game, and they catch the Aqua Tail now on Serperior. Darthlash is playing out of his mind as he soaks the resisted damage. Gligar comes in. A shield will be given up. Serperior still has one more remaining, and they can get rid of this Gligar right away. No, they decide to surrender, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, Serperior versus Venusaur. Wow, I haven't seen Venusaur in so long. The new meta this season in GO Battle League is not one that Venusaur will love, but Serperior likes this matchup because of the Aerial Ace spam that it can do. But Serperior has to watch out for Sludge Bomb, right? Sludge Bomb does super effective damage against the pure grass typing here of Serperior, so they decide to let it go, and it was the Sludge. Oh, that hits like a truck. Venusaur is smiling, and the opponent swaps out to catch the charge move on Steelix here. And Steelix is a very tough Pokemon for this team to handle, and they have to come in with Carbink right now, which is unfortunate. But if this matchup is like the one before, they don't have access to Earthquake. They have the Psychic Fang spam, which is ultimately not going to do a lot. So the defenses will be dropping, but they just need to try to go for Moonblast and just chip as much damage as possible. And even though Steelix, right, is bulky, it's big, it's full of steel, the rock throws are actually adding up. Look at the added damage that is starting to happen. I know you maybe have to put your face into your phone or zoom in on the screen, but it's doing something, which is good because Carbink outside of that isn't doing much. But down below 30% HP, actually no, that looks exactly like 33.33 repeating, of course. I love throwing that joke in, and it's going to be a crunch that is thrown. So this is funny. This is like almost worse than Skarmory versus Skarmory or Bastiodon versus Bastiodon. It's a little Carbink versus a Steelix. And what's funny is the Carbink is in the driver's seat for this matchup because now Rock Slides can be thrown. But they're actually going to go for Moonblast here. If Steelix decides to no shield, I think this is going to be a knockout. And it will be. Steelix does go down. We do see a Carbink come in from the opponent's side. So this is like bad news bears because Carbink is now on the opponent's side going to be able to take out Mantine and has enough health to get rid of Serperior. So this is going to be a very tough game as Mantine now is going to be forced to shield. All right, remember, Venusaur still lurking in the back. Rock Slides will be stopped. Ice Beam going to do a good amount of damage. The opponent tries to swap out into Venusaur, and a quick Aerial Ace is going to be thrown. This is a great opportunity here for Darthlash to turn the tide and come back from this what looked to be an incredibly tough loss, as we will now see Ice Beams be thrown. Remember, the opponent is worried about Water Pulse. That is super effective damage. The Ice Beam will be shielded. The opponent now knows the moveset. Mantine has to try to land an Ice Beam. Can it do it in time? Switch Clock coming back up. The Carbink is available to catch a charge move. Serperior has some health remaining. They're going to go for the aggressive farm down, and they swap into Serperior at the last second, and it's not going to be enough. Carbink has too much health. The charge move is being thrown. Is this, I mean, are they going to shield? They are. Okay, they gotta go for a rock. They gotta go for the rock throw. That's not enough damage. Wing attack. Can you do it? No, the back-to-back charge moves, and unfortunately, the Carbink on the other side was just too much as Darthlash is, Mantine will go down. All right, move to the next one. Empoleon on the lead. Really good matchup, especially for the Carbink in the back. So we love to see this on the lead. Thankfully, Frenzy Plant is still doing a lot of neutral damage, but they do need to be concerned about the Drill Peck. It can hit hard, especially with the added neutral damage there from Steel Wing, which, if you guys are just coming back, Steel Wing got an update, and Empoleon is incredibly strong because of that. So we will see a shield here on the first charge move. It's obviously going to be Drill Peck. It's the same energy as a Hydro Cannon. There's no way a Hydro Cannon would be thrown. It's not going to be a bait unless they had Blizzard, which I doubt, but Frenzy Plant now going to get 2 shields from the opponent, so they really need to get rid of this Empoleon, and they need to do it quickly because of how strong it is against this backline, as Serperior will give up the final shield. All shields are down now. Frenzy Plant going to be thrown into the Empoleon. They waited a turn right there to make sure the Steel Wing was coming through. Empoleon goes down. All right, what is going to be coming in? It's going to be a Shadow Gligar. The Serperior is going to try to get to the Frenzy Plant in time. They don't get to it. Mantine now is going to be swapping in. The opponent swaps in a Shadow Quagsire, which is perfect because when you consider the Carbink lurking in the back, obviously Quagsire is the worst matchup because of its typing and moveset, but Shadow Gligar is still a big threat with Dig. So here comes the charge move. Shadow Stone Edge is going to hurt. It's going to do so much damage. Is it enough to one-shot? No, it is not. So Mantine is going to be able to get to the Ice Beam right here. They're going to go for the full damage, so hopefully it is enough to knock out, and it's not. Quagsire does throw the energy. This is perfect. This is now going to allow they decide to undercharge it right there. Good call. They swap back into Shadow Gligar, but Carbink is waiting in the back. Serperior has a charge move ready to go. Are they going to come in with it? Yeah, they do come in with the Carbink right away. They just need to get to a rock throw. Shadow Dig is going to be hurting. They could make a fast swap here into Serperior to try to throw Frenzy Plant as the Dig will land. There it is. One fast move, but no, the opponent was too quick. They overloaded on energy in anticipation of this swap, but it still did its job. It forced energy now from Gligar, which gives Carbink an opening to potentially win this game as a Rock Slide is going to be thrown. The Shadow Dig is going to be coming through, but Carbink is just too bulky. It's going to be hanging on with one, I don't know how much health it had. We'll say 13 health and a dream. Let's see if I was right. It could be 13 based on that health. Now it's going to be Fast Move versus Fast Move, and Carbink is going to take it with 1 HP and a dream. And that is going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one. Shadow Victory Bell. Time to meet your maker here. Serperior is going to be dominating this matchup with the Aerial Ace spam as the opponent swaps into a Carbink. Darthlash is grinning ear to ear. Frenzy Plant is going to be putting in work. Their next best answer was a Carbink, and this is a bad situation if you're the Carbink, as Serperior can easily take switch advantage. They can have Mantine in alignment for the Shadow Victory Bell, which might be coming back in. The opponent deciding to shield, they swap into the Carbink Mirror to now catch the charge move. They want to keep the Serperior alive. If every... let's just say this. History rhymes, okay? And if the Carbink safe swap is any tell, it's going to be something like a Steelix. It's going to be something like an Empoleon in the back. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm guessing here. And they are trying to draw out the fighter, and they need to keep Serperior a bit more healthy in order to potentially win this game. Now, Shadow Victory Bell obviously likely coming back in, which it is, and this is where Rock Slide can do so much damage. A Shadow Victory Bell, even though it dominates this matchup with Razor Leaf, is going to be forced to shield in this situation, and the Carbink is able to hang on for the second Rock Slide. This, I don't think this knocks out, but it's going to get it extremely low. Yeah, it's going to get it low. Mantine now could come in to farm down. Maybe they still come in with Serperior to get the... No, they come in with the Mantine to get the wing attack farm down. Final Pokemon is going to be a Dugong. So this is going to be a good game, very well played. Again, they kept the Serperior alive just in case. It would have great matchups against what they probably were guessing was in the back based on the Carbink safe swap, right? It's a big tell. So now we're going to be seeing the Aerial Aces be thrown. They're waiting for Dugong to throw the Icy Wind, but the Dugong making the right play here, going for double charge moves. But Mantine says, that's all right, I'll just keep going for Aerial Ace, and you're going to get knocked out here soon enough. They still have 2 shields remaining, and they counter swap into Serperior now to catch the charge move. I wonder if this is going to be Drill Run. No, it is going to be the Icy Wind. Not enough to knock out, and Serperior is going to simultaneously KO the Victory Bell, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, moving to the next one. Alolan Graveler on the lead. Shadow, haven't seen this Pokemon in a while. We will see it decide to stay in and a swap out into Tropius with Razor Leaf. Okay, so this is obviously a tell that maybe it is double Razor Leaf users. If you safe swap one Razor Leaf user, odds are there's two. That's just me, but now Serperior here in a great position to go for 2 Aerial Aces, and I think we're going to see the Mantine swap in now. Nope, deciding to... There it is. There it is. They went on the charge move here to catch it, hoping to catch the Aerial Ace, which they did. Perfect. And now they're in a great position to go for an aggressive farm down and have a charge move ready to go for the Alolan Graveler. Now, that Alolan Graveler did have access to Volt Switch. It's running with it. So, Mantine's likely going to be going down to 1 fast move right here, which is ideal. If you have... Oh, they come in with Victory Bell. Interesting. They gave away the... I mean, we knew it was double Razor Leaf, right? I mean, if you've been playing Go Battling as long as I have, you know that the Pokemon number 2 was Victory Bell. That's a given. And Serperior are now going to be coming in, and it's going to be able to handle this matchup pretty easily. But they just got to be careful about the Alolan Graveler catching the charge move, as we will see a shield here on the Leaf Blade. And then now, yep, they're going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace. Now the opponent might just shield twice, reading that Serperior did come in. Yep, they will shield twice, and now this is where we got to see great job there, Darthlash, waiting to see the Razor Leaf, because if they throw the fast move, they can't swap out, and Aerial Ace now, boom, will knock out. And then here, the Alolan Graveler just unfortunately will not be able to do enough fast move damage where the Serperior can safely shield and throw the Frenzy Plant. So Serperior dominating this battle, as it will be taking out, doing a huge chunk against Tropius, taking out the Victory Bell, and finally, boom, booming the Alolan Graveler. I had bad timing there. All right, final battle. Yeah, final battle. Annihilate here on the lead. So Serperior can still do well in this matchup because of the Aerial Ace, and they decide to swap out into Mantine, so we will have a Carbink swap in. They got to be careful about Water Pulse, but a safe swap Mantine might be a tell that it has Ice Beam. We will find out, but Water Pulse obviously will not one-shot, especially a Carbink. Let's find out. It is Water Pulse. And as you guys can see, the damage right there wasn't too much, as a Rock Slide is going to look to be thrown. But now this is a tough situation to be in, as the second charge move was thrown. And it's going to be Water Pulse number 2. But Rock Slide here should be enough to knock out Mantine. If it doesn't, I think because of the bulk, they should be able to still farm down. They let it go anyways, which is fine. And now we will see that Annihilate come in to try to get some extra energy for the Serperior matchup. But little do they know that there is actually a Mantine in the back, which might be a bit better. But then you got to be wondering, why did they safe swap? Oh, it's an Emolga in the back. Well, that pays off. Emolga, if I'm remembering correctly, doesn't have access to a flying type. No, it has. Does it have acrobatics? No, it has discharge. Okay, I know it has discharge, but I'm trying to think of the second charge move. I haven't seen an Emolga in so long. I think it's pure electric, if memory serves correct. And Frenzy Plant still hits like a truck right there, which is beautiful to see, but I think it has acrobatics. I could be wrong, but I believe it does. No, they're just going discharges. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. You guys can let me know down in the comments. I can't pull up PV Poke right now. But Aerial Ace is going to be shielded, and Serperior still in a great position right here, as they can easily go for the next charge move. And all they got to do is just get rid of this Emolga, and they should be able to easily win this game, as Mantine can handle the Annihilate. As we will see a swap out and a counter swap here, 2-0 shields. Obviously Mantine sitting very comfy, as they can easily let the Shadow Ball go through. It's not going to be enough to one-shot. They should be able to go for Aerial Ace, farm down, and then charge move the Emolga, whether it's the Ice Beam or it's the Aerial Ace. They just need to get that energy right here with Wing Attack, and the opponent actually decides to surrender. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. What an incredible set of battles there from Darthlash. Overall, this team looked to be very strong. Obviously, Carbink was a great anchor for this team, able to handle so much of this meta in tough situations. The Serperior looked to have a lot of great matchups and great utility against this meta, and obviously Mantine did Mantine things. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Darthlash, congrats on Legend. Man, Vet to Legend, it makes sense. huge congrats on that in one day, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.